Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Taurus placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Taurus, to get started, being reminded of a couple of other readings. One of them was a Pisces reading that I did before the holidays, so I'll link it above. It had a very interesting message about like someone who had like a Stockholm syndrome, metaphorically, where I feel like this is I don't know, just take it how it resonates. I'm just gonna explain it the easiest way for me, but you know, it could always be flipped, so just use your discernment. Where there was like, I feel like maybe you're connected to someone, like could be like a friend, partner, loved one, whatever it is, who has some sort of like Stockholm syndrome, where it's like they're attached to somebody or a situation or whatever, where it's like it's not good for them, but they have a lot of empathy for the situation or this person, where it's like they find it difficult to detach or to like remove themselves or that kind of thing. So it's kind of coming through like that. Taurus, I feel like there's something similar for you happening. So you may want to watch that Pisces reading because there may be a message in there for you. There was also the last Aries reading that I did last week might have a message for you in there as well. So I'll link that one. But anyways, there may be a situation where I feel like this is regarding like a friend or a loved one, a partner, family member, whatever it is for you. There's like someone who you're feeling kind of protective of, is how it's coming through. Like you want to protect this person, you care for them. And I feel like there's something where this person is dealing with a situation outside of this relationship, it feels like, right? Like they're dealing with something at work, or they're dealing with something with their friends or their family or something like that, where it's like, I don't know, where it's like, I feel like from your perspective, Taurus, it's something that's not good for them. It's harming them, or it's like causing them stress, or it's like whatever it is. It's something where it's like, that's how you're seeing it anyway, is how it's coming through. Like the situation is not good for them. I need to get them out, or I need to protect them from this. So just being conscious of that energy, because there's a very strong protective energy that's coming through here, of somebody else. But also keep in mind, it could also just be of like yourself. You may be feeling protective of yourself in some way, or something like that. There's just an energy of protectiveness, or like Seven of Wands kind of energy, like trying to keep something out, is how it's coming through. Interesting. So I'm being reminded of this line from a guidebook, but I'm totally blanking on which deck it's from, or like where I read this. But the idea of having boundaries, right? Oh, it wasn't in a guidebook. It was in one of my essay books called Welcome Home. It was about boundaries, and remembering that boundaries are not so much about like keeping other people out, or like being defensive or that kind of thing. It's more about what is it that you find precious enough that you would protect, right? So it could be something like that. This is an energy, Taurus, where it's like whatever it is you're trying to protect, it's because you care for it very deeply. So if it's a person, fill in the blank, and however this is, it could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be your own sense of self, or your own peace that you're protecting, or whatever it is. That's how it's coming through. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there, Taurus. I don't know what else wants to come through there, because I feel like there's almost like it's kind of feeling like an interference where it's like part of your energy might actually be closed off because you're trying to protect something that you care about from another thing that is feeling like it's interfering, or that there's like you're just trying to protect something. It's just, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Feeling very protective over something. Interesting. Okay. Your delight charms the world. I really like that card. Maybe you're trying to protect your happiness or your delight or your peace. It could be something like that. When you generate contentment from within, your mind, body, environment, and circumstances shift accordingly. Find a still, pleasant, calm quietude in the center of all the complexities of your experience, like the hub at the center of a wheel. We humans tend to chase after things we think will make us happy, and to run from things we think will make us unhappy. Cultivate your capacity for generating contentment from within. It's not a matter of denying how you are feeling in the moment. It's a matter of observing and acknowledging your current emotional state as one sole factor within the greater scheme of your circumstances. If you look honestly at any single instant in your life, you'll find it's full of complexity. In any given moment, some things are going smoothly, while other things are falling apart or in a complete lull. In each moment, we have the option to sit at the center of our experience, allowing it all to occur, the happiness and the sadness, the frustration and the hope, the endings and the beginnings, the unknown and the manifest, the confusion and the clarity, all of it there for some quiet, content part of us to observe and learn from. Okay. Okay, so it's coming through as this energy of like finding contentment within, that no matter what your circumstances, there's always something to be grateful for, or to appreciate, or to find that brings happiness, or it's kind of coming through with like this Page of Cups energy, like where your heart just feels full, where you can find appreciation for whatever's around you. And the more that you focus on that energy, like what brings you happiness, or what, because there's this balance here of like, so perhaps there are things outside of you that are bringing you happiness, right? Like, of course, there are things that reflect back to us things of happiness, but there may also be sort of this emphasis of finding happiness within yourself that is coming through. The Infinite Web. Okay, this card talks about how everything is interconnected, right? Everything is part of a whole. And I feel like there's something here where it's like, you're like this node in the infinite web that connects all of us, right? So there's something here about like all the people that are around you, right? Like all your connections, all your significant relationships are connected to you by an attachment. And so it's kind of like I'm seeing this energy here where it's almost like you're pulling on the happiness, or it's like that's not the right way of phrasing it. Like you're radiating happiness. You're radiating happiness through your connections. So that's how it's coming through. An emphasis to do that, or to keep doing that, is like finding things to be happy about. Finding things to be happy about, despite your circumstances, whatever they are. And then that happiness sort of radiates and ripples through all of these connections. Because I feel like there's something here, Taurus, where maybe you're feeling a bit protective of your happiness, where it's like maybe you don't want to share it. Or maybe there's this energy where it's like, that might not be the right way of phrasing it, but like it's something where it's like you're keeping it protected rather than like allowing it to radiate outward. I feel like I'm getting this energy of a storm, which is not feeling like yours, Taurus. It doesn't feel like this is like your tower moment or your storm, but it feels like it's happening for someone else or something in the environment where there's a storm, and it's kind of like you have to get through it. It's a situation that's outside of your control. It's not really something that you can, but that's the thing. It's like you're protecting your loved ones from this storm because it's not something that you can control or stop or move or whatever. It's not something that you can change. So it's like you're protecting your loved ones from this storm. And I feel like there's like this energy here of like, but within your shelter, you're warm and you're happy, and it's radiating outward. I don't know how long this storm is gonna last. Okay. Your ears become a butterfly. Okay. I love this card. I love this card because it's such a strange image. This card talks about listening. And really hearing what it is that is being said or like what's being communicated. Because the ears are the only sense out of the 5 that is purely receptive, which is interesting. So just paying attention to what is being said, how it's being said. It really talks about like clear communication, but also like very important listening energy and receiving. Okay, there's a song called Ride the Storm by Goldford that's coming through. And a specific line from it is, I can't keep you safe, but I can keep you warm. So there's something here about like, okay, I feel like you're being very, very protective of something or someone that you love, and like trying to prevent harm from happening to them, right? That's how it's coming through. But I don't know if you can really keep this person completely safe from everything. It's an impossible task. So it may be that there's someone around you who's dealing with something difficult. They're, I don't know, whatever it is, they're dealing with something difficult, and it's affecting perhaps the relationship, or it's affecting you, or however, it's because you're all connected, right? So if this person is going through something where they're experiencing a storm or whatever, it's pulling on you because you're connected to them. And I feel like with your ears become a butterfly, it's emphasizing this energy of like listening to what it is that they actually need from you. Because I feel like it's not something where you can really protect them from what's happening as much as you might want to. Like it could be something where it's like, you don't want, like, say it's a child, for example, right? Like you don't want your child to go out, or like you want to keep them inside or at home because you don't know what's out there, right? Like it's that kind of energy. And I feel like there is this message, especially with like, there's a card, the resin card in the Alchemy deck, which talks about sort of like protection and bonds and things like that, where even though protection is a very pure and good intention, sometimes it can have the effect of actually harming somebody or not harming, but like keeping them from growing, right? So it could be something like that. So maybe there's somebody that you're feeling protective of, but they need to go through some sort of lesson that involves weathering a storm, and you can't keep them safe from it, Taurus, but you can keep them warm. That's how it's feeling to me. Like it's like sharing your happiness with them, or like uplifting them in whatever way. You can't protect them though. That's how it's feeling. And so just paying attention to that. Okay, Taurus, I'm back. So I'm gonna just read a short section of this Your Ears Become a Butterfly card, because this part's sticking out to me. So it says, if you receive this archetype when you are inquiring about a particular relationship, the advice is to give the other person more airtime. This does not mean listening with half of one ear while 3/4 of your mind is busy thinking of all the responses you are going to make. Lay your thoughts aside as much as possible while the other person is speaking. Listen not just to the words, and listen not just with your ears, but with your other senses too. What are they saying that is different than your experience of the situation? Can you see some truth in their perspective, or at least why it feels true to them? Yeah, okay. Okay, so it may also be talking about like paying attention to body language as well. Because I feel like you may be dealing with a situation where it's like, I'm not sure if you're actually hearing what is being said. So just paying attention to that, being conscious of that. Or again, flip this if it's resonating the other way, where like, maybe you're not feeling heard or understood or something like that by somebody, but it's really coming through with this energy of like this other person. It may be that they're younger than you, or that they have less experience, or it's something where it's like there's this energy of like you feel responsible for this person in some way. So it could be a child, and especially if it's a child that you're responsible for, right? Like your son or daughter or whatever, that like or could be like younger sibling or something, where it's like, are you limiting their growth, like a potential for growth, because you want to protect them, right? It's a very good intention that could potentially veer into a negative outcome. So I'm just going to leave that like that. But anyways, Taurus, I feel like there's this energy here of like happiness that's coming through, like finding things to be happy about, or to be appreciative of within this dynamic, because there are things that are outside of your control that you just have to ride the storm. Whatever that is, whatever is happening, there's a situation that's outside of your control. Okay. Okay, you got way too many cards out. There's like 6 of them. Okay, I'm gonna put those back. Okay, starfish. Interesting. Okay, is that you? No. No. Okay, no, I don't think this is... I'm not going to read the description for this one. It feels kind of like that's the energy that you're trying to protect. The starfish. I'm getting kind of like, okay, there may be an energy or like, okay, this feels like another person or something like that. The starfish, it's a very attractive energy, very alluring, but I feel like there's something here where it's like they don't have a good defense system is how it's going through. Like, because it's like, but if a starfish loses its limb, they can regrow it. So I feel like there's something here where it's like you don't want injury to come to this energy, but you may be limiting its growth in some way. The elephant, which is interesting. Now that's you, Taurus, for sure. Okay, because I feel like there's something here of like, because I was just getting this energy of like an immune system where it's like if you never encounter any sort of germ or thing that will challenge your immune system becomes weaker, right? It's actually becomes like if you never come in contact with any sort of germ or whatever it is that's going to challenge your immune system becomes so weak that it can't fight off like the basic things, right? So that's how it's coming through, where it's like, I don't know, I'm seeing you as being like this very protective energy of protecting someone or something. You don't want anything to come in contact with it in any way, but at the same time, that may actually be weakening it. So if it's something where it's like, so the next time anything like small happens, it's like the starfish, whatever that is to you, they can't fight off the basic things. That's how it's feeling. It's coming through like an immune system. Where, I don't know. That's really interesting. So if this is like a child, it's like the child needs to experience... Okay, I'm not a parent. I'm just going to preface that by what I'm about to say. Where the child, in my opinion, as a non-parent, so just take with a heavy grain of salt, that there may be like something that the child needs to experience and learn and grow on their own. And if you're always fighting their battles for them, they're not going to be able to fight their own battles in the future if you're not there. Like, it's that kind of energy. So it's like, I don't think that you can really keep this energy safe for a very long time, maybe for a little while. But at a certain point, there's this, like, this energy has to learn how to defend itself, right? That kind of thing. The golden egg. The golden egg. This is the heart chakra. So much pure intention, right? It's like you love this energy. That's what's prompting this. Okay, and the scorpion, which is another energy of like this sort of like defensiveness is how it's coming through, or protectiveness, right? Like this sort of like, it's a very passionate energy, the scorpion, but it's like if you get too close, they can sting, right? That kind of thing. I feel like you're trying to protect someone or something. Doesn't have to be a person. It could be like your own self, right? You may be protecting yourself from certain experiences or something like that. But in the end, is it making you weaker in some way? Because it's like things like challenge and difficulty are things that actually strengthen us. Okay, the golden egg, though. This is another card about listening and being quiet through meditation and things like that. Because I feel like there's something here. Listen, just listen. That line about like listen without having sort of like these rebuttals already prepared, right? It's like kind of just have like a blank slate about whatever this situation is. Okay. Okay, no, we're gonna go fairies next. Death. Interesting. This card talks about a natural ending. It's a natural ending. Something is coming to a close in some way. There's a transition. Don't be afraid of this energy. It's a timely and natural ending, but there may be much resistance to it. Leaves fall every autumn. In the spring, the trees are green again with new leaves. Make room for the new in your life. Let the old go, lovingly, gently, and willingly. In reverse, this card can represent important change is being blocked or delayed by clinging to old habits or things, and therefore the changes that need to happen appear to be difficult or forced upon us. Yet releasing these outgrown and outworn ways of being must happen in order to move into the next stage of development. Meditating upon breathing in truth and breathing out not truth may be helpful. Not truth may be false information, or it may be simply confusion or muddle. We don't have to know what it is or look at it. We just need to exhale the energy of not truth. It is important to look to the future, however unknown or frightening, rather than trying to tug the past along with us. It may seem impossibly difficult, but the only way to reduce the pain of this process is to step forward into the future willingly. Yeah. Okay, Taurus, maybe you are feeling pulled by something, because with this infinite web card, like somebody or something that you're connected to is almost like trying to gently pull you in a particular direction that maybe there's a bit of resistance to. And something about Taurus energy, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, is if there's something that a Taurus does not want to do, it's impossible to get a Taurus to do something that they don't want to, right? It's like it's impossible. Anyways, but I feel like with the elephant here, the elephant, which talks about breaking down obstacles, and sometimes this energy of fate where it's like if you are going in a direction that you shouldn't be, obstacles are put in your path to sort of veer you towards where you should be going. So there's something like that. There may be something like that that's happening for you, Taurus. There may be resistance towards this. And I feel like the guidance for you would to be to just listen. To just listen to what is being said and be receptive to it, because I feel like there's important change that is needing to happen. But maybe there's sort of a blockage somewhere. It's like, what do you need to let go of, Taurus? Okay, yeah. Nalise the Alchemist. She's another energy of change. Something is being transformed. She transforms something. Inner transformation and irrevocable change. When Nalise turns up in your reading, get ready for things to happen inwardly and outwardly. The stuck becomes unstuck. The blocked begins to move. You may have to run to keep up with the speed at which the situation around you is moving. You may also be surprised by the direction things and you are taking. You may find your plans, even your desires and dreams, changing as the transformative process takes place. It might not have been in your plans, but later on you will look back and say, wow, it wasn't what I expected, but it was just what I needed. When we have been through such an alchemical process, we can never go back to what we were before, which is probably just as well. Okay, there's a Scorpio energy influence coming in to your reading today, Taurus, which is of course your opposite, but it's like there's important change that's happening that I feel like is getting you to delve deeper into your true purpose here with the starfish. Maybe you have been protecting yourself from pain. It could be something like that. Like you're protecting yourself from something. Or protecting it could be like you're protecting your heart. You're protecting something or someone that you love. It may not be a person. It depends on who's watching this, right? It's the details are going to be specific to each of you, but there's change happening. There's change happening, and I feel like, Taurus, you're being asked to like listen to what that change is, first of all, and then what that change requires of you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you have Honesty, Bright Mother, and Luathus the Wild. Some sort of action. The Honesty card. I feel like communication is really important here, but the honesty also has these like huge butterfly ears. Like it looks like these two energies are the same. The Honesty card talks about being honest with yourself about something as well. The Bright Mother and Luathus the Wild, I feel like there's something that you have to be honest about in whatever way it is. It could be sharing your heart, Taurus. Yeah, a need to be straightforward is just how it's coming through. Luathus talks about the need to take action. Like, it's time to take action. There's this sort of like fire-charged energy that comes with Luathus, especially with this elephant card. It's like it's time to take action, but I feel like there's something about being honest within your own heart. Perhaps listening to your own heart, Taurus, as cheesy as that might be, like listening to your own heart about what you need in a situation or what's needed in a situation to change or something like that. Because, as I was saying, if a Taurus does not want to do something, it's very difficult to get them to do it. But at the same time, if a Taurus really wants to do something, nothing can stop them, right? I love Taurus energy, but there's this energy here of like, I feel like you're in this almost like transition period where it's like, maybe there was something that you were not wanting to do, or it was difficult to do, or there was resistance to doing it, whatever it is. So you weren't doing it because you didn't want to. But now there may be sort of this shift of like, maybe you're shifting into this place where you do want to do something, or that there's like a change happening internally within yourself, like in your heart, or what you truly desire, or that kind of thing. That's like slowly and gently pulling you towards doing that thing that where in the past you didn't want to do it. Like it's that kind of thing. That's how it's feeling to me, especially with these cards. And so Luathus is coming through as like, maybe it will be time to take action towards something soon. You have She of the Kruhak at the bottom of the deck, but then also the Hobjab, which is coming through, like the hobjab talks about fears and anxiety, or like the thing, like self-limitations, like things where it's like, I can't do this. This is, you know, that kind of energy. Or like a self-rejection kind of energy. She of the Kurak talks about the feminine principle. So I feel like there's like, it could be something as well where it's like, maybe you have been in a very like feminine energy, but one where like the feminine energy was blocked or closed off, or like you're protecting your heart from pain or something like that, where it's like maybe you weren't letting people in. And maybe that shifting where it's like moving from this sort of feminine energy into more of a perhaps masculine, or like taking more action, or like moving towards the thing that you want. That's how it's coming through. From protective to active is how it's feeling. Silver. I had a feeling this card would come out. There was another Taurus reading I did a month or two ago that had this card, so I'll link it above as well. The silver card talks about having to polish your mirror about something, having to put in the elbow grease. It is also the element of the moon, so there may be pay attention and be conscious of projections of fear and illusions, right? So it could be something, especially if you're feeling protective or defensive about something, that may be coming from an energy of fear. So if there's something where it's like having like concerns with safety, for example, right? Like I don't want to go out, or I don't want my child to go out or whatever, because of like, I don't know what's out there, right? It's a fear of what's out there, for example. I don't know if that necessarily will resonate with you, but it's coming through like that, where there may be sort of this energy of like being very cautious. But I feel like there is like a change that's wanting to come through with that, Taurus, because, okay, you may want to work with I'm getting this crystal malachite, which is a very intense crystal, but it talks about like, okay, one second, let me just browse through the, so it amplifies both positive and negative energies. Malachite is an important protection stone. It absorbs negative energies. Okay. One second. Malachite is a stone of transformation. Life is lived more intensely under the influence of this adventurous stone, which encourages risk-taking and change. It mercilessly shows what is blocking your spiritual growth. Malachite draws out deep feelings and psychosomatic causes, breaks unwanted ties and outward worn patterns, and teaches how to take responsibility for one's actions, thoughts, and feelings. It releases inhibitions and encourages expressing feeling. This stone develops empathy with other people, showing how it would feel to be in their place. It alleviates shyness and supports friendships. Malachite is useful for psychosexual problems, especially when these have been caused by traumatic past life sexual experiences. It assists the rebirthing process. Malachite goes to the core of a problem, enhancing intuition and insight. It helps alleviate mental disturbances, including psychiatric illnesses, and combats dyslexia. It strengthens the ability to absorb and process information, makes you more observant, and helps in understanding difficult concepts. It facilitates deep emotional healing. It releases negative experiences and old traumas, bringing suppressed feelings to the surface and restoring the ability to breathe deeply. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I have a piece of malachite here. It is, from personal experience, a very powerful crystal to work with. It does bring up a lot of difficult emotions, especially around past trauma, right? So if there's any sort of wound or thing in your life that needs healing, or something that's been suppressed, or an energy that's like holding you back. So it is something where it's like, it will amplify both negative and positive energies in order to bring it up to the surface, where I feel like there's something here for you, Taurus, where something needs to heal. It feels kind of like something where it has to do with safety or protection. So it feels very much like root chakra related, but I feel like there's something here where it's like your heart is being affected by this, where it's like, especially if it's an energy where it's like you're keeping other people out, or other energies out from your space or whatever. You're keeping energies out. It's like almost like negatively impacting your relationships, for example, right? Like it's that kind of thing. So, but the reason for that might be because there's some sort of unhealed trauma that needs to be brought up to the surface in order for you to clear it. Because I feel like whatever this energy is, there's change happening in your environment. Something is changing. Something's going through a transition. And you're being asked to go through like this like rebirth process that is getting you to be honest with yourself about what's blocking you, if there is anything, and what needs to change. That's how it's coming through. So the silver card is coming through with this sort of like moon energy, like your emotions, how you feel. Projections and fear are really being highlighted as well. Saturn. Okay. Saturn. This is, okay. Saturn is such an interesting energy. Saturn is in Pisces right now, so it's bringing in that Pisces energy, that Pisces reading again. But it does talk about lessons and karma, structure, authority, and consequences. Saturn is known as the great ruler, the authoritative father, and the structuring force. Limitation, rules, logistics, and laws all fall under Saturn's claim, and they insist on our adherence. Saturn constricts, it corrects, it governs. The force of this planet is frustrating, especially for creative types, as it can feel like one limitation after another, yet its ability to support is unmatched. No creative project can come to be without the Saturnian qualities of commitment, endurance, and steadiness. The tick of this clock reminds us of this planet's steadfast presence, eternally measuring. It's no surprise it's associated with the metal lead and the qualities of density and weight. To embrace Saturn is to embrace the foundation and become one's own central authority. It's not as dull or as easy as it sounds. Okay. I feel like, Taurus, you are in the process of embracing some form of Saturn energy. So it could be a more committed energy. Like you may be committing to something. Like, so it could be something like Saturn to me is like about discipline and routines and steadily working towards a goal and learning lessons that help you to grow. So I feel like maybe you're committing to that sort of energy. It's not easy, but I feel like there's this commitment energy that's coming through. And it's in order for like something to grow. I feel like there is, it feels like it's connected to your heart energy. So there could be some sort of heart expansion that's happening for you. There could be some sort of like commitment or relationship that's like encouraging you to grow, or like there's but it's feeling very much like an energy where you're being asked to listen, Taurus. There is a lot of growth here, but it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because I feel like there's some sort of transition or change that's necessary. But that may be sort of feeling like it's threatening your sense of safety or protection, like that kind of thing. So just being conscious of that. Okay, I'm going to pull one card from this Animal Apothecary deck. Okay, breakthrough. A breakthrough, Taurus. Okay, I'm going to read this card. The lizard brain. The medicine of this card comes through when you are about to level up and have an amazing breakthrough, but you must be made aware that your lizard brain may attempt self-sabotage. The eye opening in this image is likened to a seed ripping open to become self-realized. The reptile head on the bottom of the card represents our unconscious reptilian brain, the limbic system. This part of our brain represents fear, flight, fight, addictions, and other emotional behaviors. It hates change and think it can keep you safe by pulling you back from taking important risks that can lead to great success. Taurus, this summarizes the entire reading. There's change that the limbic system of your brain is saying, we don't want this change. It's scary. It's difficult. We want to stay safe by pulling back. And there may be sort of like self-sabotaging energies that come through with that. So just being aware of that, Taurus. Okay. The lizard brain will drown you in fear of potential failure and tell you to stay in the job or relationship that make you miserable because there is a strange safety in the familiarity of what you know. This card is about surpassing the prehistoric programming of our beliefs and behaviors to evolve into who we know we can be. The art of your breakthrough is the determined effort to constantly question your perception. Take a moment to analyze a current obstacle or moment of resistance you are dealing with. This obstacle is a golden nugget moment to challenge your perception. Examine the story in your mind's eye. Even being aware that you just got hijacked by lizard brain doesn't necessarily dispel all the worry running through your body. At this moment, you may have to just move forward while still feeling fear and not believing fully in yourself, but the action of going forward is what will lead you to a critical breakthrough. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to end it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.